Hi, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Brian.
And
we're the
WV
WVGamers.
So today we're going to be reviewing Cloud City from Blue Orange Games. And if you look over or above Brian's head, you'll see that we have a lot of Blue Orange games. We're big fans. So in Cloud City, you are an architect trying to build skyscrapers into the clouds. And you're doing that by placing cards, building the skyscrapers, and creating crosswalks between the two skyscrapers. Now, the crosswalks have an interesting factor on them. They actually have votes on them based on how long they are. And at the end of the game, whoever has the most votes wins the game. The votes are actually like victory points. But the city council members are voting to see if your city is up to par and to their liking. So, in the game, you will start with starting tiles. Whoever is a starting player will have a tile that has one bird on it. You can't see it because it kind of blends in with the clouds, but the first player gets the single one, and then the person to the left gets the one with two, and then the 3 birds goes to the third player, and the 4 birds goes to the fourth player. When you get your tile, you will build your cities on them. In my instance, mine both have 2 blue buildings, or river, on them. And then Brian has a blue and a green one on his. We're setting it up with a 2-player game. In a 2-player game, you are actually going to be building your city in a 4x3 map. So like 3 and 4, or 4 and 3, however you see fit. In a 4-player game, you'll be building a 3x3 square. And it's played over the course of 8 rounds. However, in a 2 and 3 player, it's actually played over 11 rounds because you're building a bigger map. Everyone will get 3 cards to their hand that they can play from, as well as 3 face-up cards in the shopping area for everyone to shop from, as well as the draw stack. On your turn, at the end of your turn, when you replenish, you can either draw from the face up or the face down, but if you draw from the face up, you do need to replenish.
Alright, so what a player's turn is going to look like is pretty straightforward. You'll have your tiles in your hand, and you're going to decide which one you want to play down. You'll choose one, lay it down, and then the second part of your phase is collect the buildings that match the colors. So in this case, I have a blue, and I have a green. That is the second phase. The third phase is optional depending on how your city is currently laid out. So you'll notice I have 2 green skyscrapers here and 2 blue here. That means I can go ahead and build my little crosswalk there because I have them at the same height and everything, so I may do that. So I'm going to do that there, and then I'll do this here. You can build as many of these that you can legally play. Basically, the only restrictions is each of the skyscrapers may only have 2 walks coming off of them, and then you can't build through another building. Like if I had a blue one over here, I couldn't build through it because, well, I physically can't phase this through that building. So, limitations. We'll get there in the next game. But that's basically the third optional phase. And then the final phase, since you only have 2 tiles in your hand, is like Amanda said, you either take one of the face-up ones here and then replenish, or just take one off the top of the deck. And you'll continue in the same fashion until you've built out your city to the size that she mentioned, which was 4x3 in a 2 to 3 player game, or 3x3 in a 4-player game.
And then once you build to the dimensions of the city based on the player count, then you count up your points of your score. We found it easiest is just taking off all of your skyscrapers and counting your points that way. However, there is a variant that you can play with in the game, that there are cards that you can play with that gives an objective that you're trying to complete during the game. That objective is public knowledge for everyone, and everyone's trying to vie for those points to help with it. If there is a tie with the number of votes at the end of the game, you go by whoever had the most votes on blue buildings. And if there's still a tie, you go to the green buildings. If still a tie, you go to the brown buildings. And if there's a tie after that, then you share the victory or just play again.
Exactly.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this game. It's nice, easy, simple rules that you can hit the table quickly with and start playing. The materials are very sturdy. Like the tiles are a heavy cardboard. There is no bend whatsoever with them. The colors on them, they're distinguishable, so you know what buildings are which. The heights of the building, you can tell by them. They're a sturdy plastic material, has a nice little sound to them. The tops of them have the little crevices, so the walkways actually fit into them nicely, so they don't slide around. It even comes up with like this nice tray that holds the tiles, as well as your crosswalks in it. Very sturdy material, great table presence. It'll attract a lot of people to the table.
Yeah, and this one would definitely be good for most ages. I don't think it's ages 10 and up, but I mean, depending on your kid probably play this at a little younger age. They may not necessarily understand everything, but I mean, you saw it's 4 simple steps. It's you get to play with little cute little buildings and put walkways across them. So it is very, very simple, but it is one that you can easily knock out. I don't want to say it's a filler, but it is kind of close to a filler. It would probably run in about, 25 minutes to 40 minutes or so, just based on our play.
Yeah. Now, I will say, though, like, once you start getting your city built and you're getting down to, like, only a placement of a few more tiles, it does get a little bit more difficult trying to map out how you want to build things, because your crosswalks are only so long.
Yeah.
It goes over, like, a span, I think, three tiles.
Yeah.
For the longest, there's short ones that are just, like, right next
adjacent
door to each other.
Yep.
So you have to watch that. And again, when you build, if you have like the blue here and you have a blue behind, you can't build across it.
I worked myself into a corner a couple of times. Like, I thought I had this really cool plan built out, and then I just wasn't getting the tiles right, and I just put buildings in the wrong places.
Yeah. So there is strategy to it.
Yeah.
When you get into the few spaces left to build on. But I really enjoy this game, and it's definitely going to be hitting the table again and again. We really enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's kind of just a common theme for Blue Orange games. A lot of their games have a lot of table presence, so that's why anytime we see one of their games, we're kind of interested in it, because it's going to be one that's going to be nice and showy, especially whenever we're doing in-person demos at our local shop. I think you have a t-shirt on for. So yeah, their games are typically very good at table presence. So we were really pleased that this had that. I mean, it's not big and showy like Planet with a cool like planet orb and whatnot, but honestly, it's very nice. Yes. I have no complaints about this one at all.
Yeah.
So. And
I'm sure we will have a playthrough of the game here soon. So if you like this review of it and want to see an actual playthrough of the game, check us back out for that and give us a like and a share and a follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I am Amanda.
And I'm Ryan.
And we're the WV Gamers.